Another member of the New Day becomes WWE Champion, and it's the one that a lot of fans have been calling for a very long time. Today on Break It Down, we're going to discuss Big E.
Break it down!
What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are doing a Break It Down for Big E. Recently become WWE Champion. We're going to look at his career to date and see where he ranks with some of the other names that we've done on this channel. We got a couple guys today in the studio to help. Who we got?
Cameron.
GG.
Skillet. What's
And
going on?
And we're going to talk about Big E. I mean, first off, guys, what are your thoughts of this, him becoming champion in recent weeks?
It's a good thing. He done it the traditional way. So tag team, then went singles, Intercontinental champion, then became WWE champion. So he done it the old school way.
I don't want to upset anyone, but I've been waiting to get this off my chest for a while. I love that he's champion. He deserves it. But the way it happened was absolutely... He deserves so much better.
Yeah.
The way, like, Bobby Lashley, how can he... He knows full well for the whole show, Big E's coming out after this, but instead of waiting there, he starts, like, trying to bang up other guys, and then he gets a little injury, and then, do you know what I mean? Big E doesn't really lose it or win cleanly because of... Obviously, the cash in itself, but the little injury and that. Like, Big E deserves better. I'm so happy that he's champion, but I don't think he should be happy to
how
have won
it's happened
like
necessarily. That. I think we're going to talk a lot about that when we get to legacy. But Skillet, what are your thoughts as well?
Yeah, I hear what Gigi's saying. I felt like this would have been a perfect opportunity to make Big E be the one to defeat Roman Reigns' reign of terror. I don't know who they've got in plans for that. I think
Drew McIntyre.
Drew thinks is Max thinks he's Drew. There might be something in that because I've heard a little. Well, I don't know. It might not be true either. What I've heard, but there might be a speculation that SummerSlam next year, which is 30 years since it was in Wembley Stadium,
Don't do it to me.
might be returning back to the UK, and it might be Drew being the face of that card. So Max might be right there. But anyway, that being said, Big E definitely deserves being the champion. Yes, I agree with Gigi. They could have made him win it a bit better in the circumstance that he did win it in. But at the end of the day, wrestling is a bit crazy these days, and you got to take what you got. And I'm happy that he's champion. So,
And you just got to commend him for doing it his way. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, he's been told you need to change your character, you need to turn heel, this,
nah,
that.
he's staying who he is, man.
But I'm going to make a bold prediction, that once Xavier Woods wins King of the Ring...
I love that.
He'll realise, maybe this single thing ain't so bad. And we'll see the...
Xavier will be the one that turns heel. Yeah, I think you might be right
we'll see
there.
or they'll all turn heel together, maybe.
Or New Day will be the first ever team never to break up and go on to win stuff, singles.
They make the company a hell of a lot of
100.
money.
They might be the first ever team never to break up and like win stuff together without turning on each other. That's historic in
That's
itself.
good, yeah.
That's historic in itself. I mean, you don't need to break up everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I
In
know,
real life, that doesn't always happen, innit?
Surprised
Yeah,
WWE
yeah.
have managed to do it for so long, bro. They love
I think New Day probably they were like, no, we don't need to do this.
No need to.
I mean, they proved it.
Yeah, you don't.
That's true.
Kofi's been WWE champion, now Big E. So
Xavier could be
they
next.
proved that they could just be themselves by being New Day and be champion. So they need to
I
break
think
it up.
Xavier should be Universal Champion, though, not that. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, we could talk about that. Definitely could talk about that.
I'm kidding. I think I'm kidding Xavier. I like Xavier.
Cool. So we're going to get into the 4 categories that we use on the Break It Down show to kind of rank each of the wrestlers' particular areas. That is aesthetic, promo, ability or in-ring ability, and their legacy. So without further ado, guys, like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Let's get into it. Big E, Break It Down.
Break it down!
So we're going to start with aesthetic, as the guys write down the number that they rank for Big E's aesthetic. What do you rank his aesthetic? Let us know down below in the comments. When we say aesthetic, we're talking about general look, music, just his overall, maybe presence as a wrestler, as a professional wrestler or sports entertainer. Let's start with Cam.
4.
4 out of 5 there. Gigi? 4 out of 5. 5 out of 5. So Skillet's gone for 5. Why?
5.
Five. Listen, man.
If you know the reference.
I love the ring attire. I love the entrance. I remember when they first debuted with that entrance music, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was like, "This is dead, bro."
I mean, you mean New Day?
Yeah, when New Day first debuted with that entrance theme, and then there was that very churchy,
The church gospel
what
choir
the hell
stuff.
Is this, right? Even though the church attire wasn't that bad,
Yeah.
it was still a bit like, what the hell? This is terrible. But the way the New Day flipped it and brought their own personalities, Xavier was the brainchild behind having them do so many different costume changes and the ring gear. It's incredible. Like I think the way they look is amazing. The stuff they come out with every time they come out with something different, the ice creams, the cereals, I think it's entertaining every week, and they always wear something fresh. They always never wear something new. They're always wearing something different every week. For me, I gotta give him a 5. The only thing I would deduct Big E's on points on is his haircut, but
yeah, he's I hate his trim. I hate that trim, honestly.
But his trim is not that bad.
You know what? It's like a Mohican. It's got a wide Mohican. Like,
Biggie, I love you, man. I'm playing my brother. I love you. I love your haircut. But yeah, no. In terms of ring attire, I gotta give it a 5.
Cool. GG, you gave it a 4.
I think they have some of the best attires in wrestling. My favorite
100.
is like that slowly colouring in their attire.
That
as
white
Xavier
one,
Woods
that was
and
brilliant.
good.
That was
and
brilliant.
like actually Big E wasn't there for the Power Rangers inspired, but they've
Yeah.
possibly done things like that before.
Yeah.
The Brody Lee inspired.
Yeah, man.
that
They've
was
got
really
some
nice,
sick
yeah.
attires, but for me, aesthetically, it's very childish and whimsical sometimes. Aesthetically, Big E is a big guy, but he's not the tallest. So, that kind of me talking about people's height. But yeah.
All right, Vince.
But yeah, I don't know. He's just, I can't think of one specific memorable attire, maybe apart from the colouring in one, but his looks good. Singlet is a good look for a wrestler.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just, for me, it's not some, I could see the argument for a 5, but personally, I don't enjoy his attire as much as others might.
Yeah, that's cool. What about yourself?
Sorry, have to.
You gave him a 5.
Yeah.
You gave him a 4 initially.
I
yeah.
gave him a 4, but I just remembered.
Did I convince you with arguing against it?
No. You reminded me of something. Super Saiyan attire.
Yeah.
WrestleMania coming out Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
5.
those were-
And I think it was on Monday. Fuji's.
Yeah,
5.
Oh, yeah,
Fuji's.
yeah,
The
Fuji's
score.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
the score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
See,
He's got some new Fuji's attire.
Yeah, the Fuji's
yeah.
attire.
Fire.
The score album.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to attire, generally, the New Day, this is obviously for all of them. They kill it. They kill it. But, yeah, what do you think of his music? Obviously, Wale does his music now.
Oh,
Since he's left
got new
New
music,
Day.
hasn't he?
I don't think
you know what's
Wale's a
weird?
great rapper, but
No, he's not a great rapper. But
Like when he
it's not
comes
bad.
out, when he comes out to it, I don't really hear it like properly. Like, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I can't hear it clearly.
It's not entrance music.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's...
feel like it's intermission music.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Backstage, innit?
Yeah.
People talking backstage. and
Yeah,
music
yeah,
playing.
that is 100%
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
not entrance.
Still to come.
It's even 100%. Even this the one that Wale's done for this NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
It's not music for a wrestling show.
They
like-
should have done. They should have the original. Sipping on fofos.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Wall, Mike Jones. They should have
Yeah.
played that. He sampled it, innit? But
Yeah.
they should have the original. That original tune is banging, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
wait.
classic.
His original theme, what's it called again? 5 ain't enough. Big E's one.
Big E's one.
When he was doing the 5 count gimmick,
Yeah.
that one sounded more
With
like
the weightlifting powder.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Right. That's been all day. And then you come out with the powder.
Of course.
And Triple H is like, yeah, this is my show. Okay, I'm sorry.
Cool. So, couple 5s and a 4. What are we gonna agree on for Big E's aesthetic?
5.
I'm saying 5.
outnumbered. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, 5.
Like
Yeah.
when you've got little Easter eggs in your gear that the fans can research or look
100%.
Yeah,
up,
people
or
love that
it'll
stuff
be
as well.
like an inside thing, like the Dragon Ball Z. Not everyone would have got that reference
Yeah.
straight away. So
They're trendsetters, man.
he's up there.
They
he's
changed
up
the
there.
game, bro.
I'm happy
Yeah.
with agreeing with you lot, but for me, he ain't no Macho Man or Shawn Michaels. So
Are you talking about Shawn Michaels' brown pants?
never the brown, bro.
But Michael's ring gear.
Yeah, he did have good ring gear.
Magnifique.
And Macho.
I used to love his ring as a kid. Macho Man, you can't talk to Macho Man.
Man's got tassels.
I ain't got time for all of that personally. But that's all. I'm a wrestler. Hey everyone, I'm a wrestler. Let me wear tassels and stuff.
Bruv, you're not a wrestler if you ain't got tassels.
Max will never understand the ring attire that the Metro Man Randy Savage used to rock on a regular basis. Oh yeah, greatest. Yeah, you can't talk to that man, but he's up there though.
He's up there. All right, Big E aesthetics 5.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Right, so next we're going to talk about Big E and his promo ability. So obviously he's shared a lot of mic time within the New Day, but I don't know how much he's done before the New Day, you know, with his Big E Langston character, and even now, you know, his singles career before he become WWE Champion. But we'll see what the guys say. We'll start with Skillet.
I'm gonna give Biggie a 4.
4 for the promo. GG? 3.
2.
What? Boy, what? Okay, let's start with Cam. Why?
Reason why, I'm pretty sure Biggie can cut promos, but I've never heard him cut promos like that.
What are you talking about?
Which one? When?
With the stuff he does in the New Day. He's always cutting promos.
So do you mean like...
I mean, like, we're talking about Big E, not New Day. That's the thing.
Yeah, he still cuts promos though.
So are you talking about like impactful ones before like a big match or something like that?
I've never heard. Well, I could be wrong, but Big E has cutting promos.
I think you're totally wrong, Cam.
I could be wrong, but
No, there's an element of what he's saying I understand, because obviously this is now his singles, his like real singles career has kind of kicked off just like recently in the last year or so.
He cut a good promo when he won the title on Raw the other day.
Yeah, there's a good,
very
yeah,
heartfelt
yeah,
good promo.
that's good. But I guess when we're talking about promo, it's more than one. We need, you know, like
I don't know. I think him doing all
that stuff. Yeah,
that's a promo. Like he does it week in, week out. Him coming out and cutting stuff with Xavier Woods and then Kofi Kingston and adding to their comedy and like cutting promos. Yeah, that's a promo. Like that's because he hasn't done it in a. He's just become a singles competitor if you really think about it, right? And he has cut promos backstage, and he does little funny things. Like he cuts good promos. He's obviously he's not a great.
I'm not saying he can't cut promos, but I just haven't heard that standout promo being like, oh yeah, you know what, good promo.
So you're gonna give him 2 because of that.
Yeah.
Well,
So you said 4.
I said 4.
GG, all right, you said 3. So
That's the same reason. Like, I've got the rule that if you say promo to me and Big E, I can't think of one specific promo.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, he is a mic man. Like, in terms
that's
of
what I mean.
which
what he does, he's maybe unmatched currently. Like, I actually watched the 2 hours of Raw, 3 hours of Raw when he cashed in like the other week. And he was the only thing that was keeping me tuned in because he's just so entertaining. Like the things he says, he's just silly with it, and he's just very entertaining. But again, like it's just my rule. If I can't think of one standout promo, then you don't get more than a 3.
So I think having said what everyone said, I think Cam's waiting for that kind of I'm defending the WWE Championship, that big rah-rah speech against his competitor, I guess.
A 3 for me is where I can think of a few promos here and there, but I can't think of a few promos here and there for Big E. So I have to be just below, just.
All right, so 2, 3, 4.
I want to go to.
Where are we gonna fall?
Change your mind to a 3.
Why?
Okay, that's fair.
Because
But
what Gigi said. Yeah, I agree. I think.
And then if then I can remember a standout promo, I go right 4s. Okay, are you Ric Flair? Are you The Rock? Are you Stone Cold? They're 5s. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I kind of
so
gauge it.
because I think what everyone is saying here, we're all saying it in different ways, but I think Gigi knocked the nail on the head. He is a brilliant mic man. He ain't someone that fumbles or anything like that when it comes to mic. It's just maybe, obviously, like we said, his singles career is kind of just kicking off now. And before he's been in a group, he hasn't maybe said anything meaningful or with lasting impact. And that's what's maybe making the scores waver a bit.
Imagine the promos if they do break up. Like, those will be some timeless promos.
Yeah.
But he's not had a big feud, really, like a standout top-tier feud or anything like that, in which for him to deliver something
a top
of importance.
Yeah,
if you know
exactly.
what I mean.
No, it's right.
Actually, his probably best work was probably not on TV. It's during Talking Smack
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Heyman.
That's what I was... Yeah.
That's true.
Him and Heyman going back and forth. But is that a promo or is that him
I
just
mean,
talking?
I guess there's a level of script to
Yeah.
that show, I'm guessing. So I guess you could count that as well. But we all have to agree on one score to give Big E for his promo ability. So what are we thinking?
I'm saying 3.
I'm happy to average out to a 3.
It looks like an E, so it must be a 3.
So yeah, brilliant mic man. But when it comes to delivering, heartfelt or important promos, I guess we're all yet to see it. So Big
Just
E,
waiting.
yeah, exactly. So Big E's promo ability, a 3.
Break it down.
Right, so we're going to talk about Big E's in-ring ability now. So this is what he does, the magic in between the ropes and where we rank it. Guys watching along, please make sure you've put in the comments below what you think of Big E's aesthetic and his promo, and also like the video if you're enjoying the video. So we're going to start with GG. His in-ring ability, 3. Skillet,
4.
in-ring ability of 4. And Cam,
It's a tough one, 3.
3. What's tough about it?
I wanted to give it a 4, but I was like, because the matches that stand up for me, him versus Sheamus, that street fight they had on SmackDown,
yeah.
that was good.
Yeah.
And I have to go back to the New Day one with him. It was him and Xavier Woods versus the Usos at Hell in a Cell. That Hell in a Cell match,
Good match, yeah.
great match.
I gave Biggie a 4 because I think he just the intensity that he brings to every match that he has is consistent. Like he's always high energy, high octane energy, doing all these crazy moves, crazy pops, crazy spots, belly to bellies, going through the ring, the big ending, all this stuff that he does is just always on point. Like he never misses a beat, in my opinion. Not everyone has to be a technical genius to be a freaking 5
Good,
or
yeah,
4.
yeah.
He's good at what he does, and he does it consistently, and that's why I gave Biggie a 4.
That's fair. GG.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but for me, he's just where he does lack in the technical ability and other stuff like that. Those are my 4s and 5s. For me, he's not got the most dynamic moveset. Yeah, the spear through the ropes is something that no one else does.
I think he probably needs to stop doing
Yeah.
that.
The Warrior Splash.
Yeah, the warrior
Good stuff.
splash. Like you get
He
some
makes
good
it look good
height
though.
on it.
Yeah.
And the big endings are
Great
good,
move.
good
Great finisher.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I can't think of any standout matches for him that I personally would go back to, apart from maybe some New Day matches.
Yeah.
But then you can't really hold him as high as anyone else or higher than anyone else in that match necessarily. So yeah, he's a good worker, good look, and for what he's a powerhouse and he does that well. But for me, I prefer your technical, more high flyer or something like that, which I just don't think he's got.
Yeah. So it might be a thing again where we're seeing him kind of do more within his moveset. It might come within this singles run he's having now.
Or is he a? Could you argue that for WWE style, he is a 5 or a 4?
That's a good way to put it. For WWE style, I would definitely say he's probably somewhere between a 4 and a 5. But as a wrestler, in what everything that you mentioned that we expect from a wrestler, there is deficiencies or things we don't see within his game. So couple 3s, a couple 4s. What are we gonna average out for Big E's
3.
in-ring ability?
3.
3. So that's you coming down.
Yeah.
Why are you prepared to come down?
Yeah, I'm not gonna die on a hill of like, it's not like Big is the most outstanding wrestler. Like I think he's a great worker. An absolute great worker. So I'm willing to go down a bit.
Sometimes you got to think as well. Who else would you put as a 4? And does he fit in that?
Yeah.
That room.
Yeah, it's true.
Where would you guys put Cena as a wrestler?
4.
Because I think Biggie and Cena, there's not much difference in terms of what they can
I
do.
agree.
I can think of
But then those are two
more
people
matches.
that I would say.
You want to say about matches, yeah?
But then that's true.
AJ
Cena's probably
Styles,
had more.
Roman.
But then Cena's had a singles run
Yeah,
for you to draw
it's
upon.
unfair to.
Yeah. And then, like I said, if you're going to split into WWE style, I think they're both up there for WWE style of wrestling, 100%. But that's a good point. But Biggie, his ability, we're all going to agree on a 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Biggie's ability, a 3.
Break it down.
Cool. So last but not least, we're going to talk about Big E's legacy. So obviously he's recently become WWE Champion, which puts him into a whole nother category of wrestler. Although, like many fans, myself, Gigi mentioned earlier, we're not happy with how it's happened, how he became WWE Champion. He is part of an elite list now, and obviously all of his tag team accolades, Intercontinental Champion. The only thing missing from his resume per se is United States Championship. How high up anyone ranks that belt these days is up for discussion. But Big E, when it's all said and done, we'll start with Cam. Legacy, 3. Skillet, 4. And Gigi,
3.
So, Cam, you said 3.
Yeah,
What are we thinking there? Like,
it's still early with his title reign as WWE Champion, but mainly overall him being the 3 is down to his New Day run. But then again, he could go back to obviously NXT. He is an NXT champion. He was a former NXT champion, 2-time Intercontinental champion.
they're doing something different with NXT these days. So.
Yes, true.
So,
Well, overall average about 3 is fair, which is not a bad thing because obviously he's still got time to.
Yeah,
elevate,
he's definitely still got. How old is Big E roughly? Probably like early 30s or mid 30s.
Probably around my age.
Okay, because Roman and them lot came up together ish.
Yeah.
Roman's about 35 or something like that. So,
FCW days.
yeah. So why did you give him a 3, Gigi?
If we're talking New Day, they're probably going to get a 4 or maybe even a 5, like as a group, as a faction. But him as on his own, he's just not done enough. And I mean, unfortunately, him being one of the very few black world champions does add to his legacy. But that's just unfortunate because there's not many of them.
There's not many. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I mean, and you got to take your hat off. Like his legacy will hopefully be he didn't ever change, and everyone tried to force his hand to be this heel, to do this, and we could potentially see him as this character for his, majority of his run.
Yeah.
So that might add to his legacy, but he's not done enough to warrant anything higher than a 3.
Only 3, fair enough. And Skillet gave him a 4.
I think he's done enough already. Even with the New Day, I think New Day is a groundbreaking tag team that changed wrestling. You don't get many factions where you have multiple champions in a faction. You don't get many factions that are transcending the way they do, the way they get into pop culture, the way they actually are just massive on the internet as well as the wrestling.
But is that Xavier Woods' legacy?
No, well, Biggie's part of
He
that.
is
The
part
New
of
Day-
it. He's
the New
involved
Day
in it.
podcast. Biggie's part of it. You don't get, they are the tag team to defeat the Demolition record, and they hold the longest tag team titles. They have been mainstays at WrestleMania. Big E, yes, he's now becoming a solo wrestler, so he's going to carry on that legacy as a solo wrestler, and I think he's going to actually exceed expectation. I think he's going to be a multiple champion going forward, and I can see Big E. The sky's the limit for him. I just think I think they're already a 4. I think anyone that's in a New Day faction are they're 4 levels already, like Kofi's and the Biggies and even Xavier.
That's the thing. I tried to remove that from it because I think you're right. New Day 4, 5, and he is part of that, so he deserves that. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to separate it. Maybe that's wrong, like how I've rated it. But
yeah, I think it's a difficult one because you don't want to lean too much in on the New Day stuff, but you have to count it as part of this person's story, innit? Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if I was doing this, I'd probably have to lean into a 4 for it as well. He hasn't done much of anything as a single star. He's won an Intercontinental Championship way back in the day. He's won another one, and as a singles run, and they kind of shipped it straight to Apollo Crews afterwards. He's won the Money in the Bank. Didn't do nothing until he cashed in as champion, and now he's world champion. So
I think his debut on the main roster, his debut match was at WrestleMania. In that tag team.
Yes, yeah.
It was with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been good.
Yeah.
Even as the heavy for Dolph and AJ Lee, he's always been good. I just think the New Day stuff will probably, and the same way if you looked at Kofi, the New Day stuff will always, Kofi's loved by many, but the New Day stuff is always going to be that thing that carries these guys, and
100%.
They're going to be, you have Legends Night now and you bring back all these old school people. They're probably going to be the guys that,
come back as New Day. Not
literally. Like they will probably come back as New Day. Like you say, they ain't going to come back as individual people. So yeah, I think it's up there, but it is heavily because of what he's done with the New Day stuff. So yeah, a couple 3s, a couple 4. What do you guys think we're going to end up on?
depends how you want to do it. I mean, like I said, for the New Day and that stuff, you could probably warrant a 4.
It's all about his entire run. So that's from the minute he's got onto main roster, if you like, until now.
Yeah,
I guess we
for the New Day stuff alone, you would have to put him probably as a 4. And obviously now the stuff even they're going to be doing with Netflix.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen on the back of that? Like, you know, some mad stuff could be happening in future. But yeah, I don't know. I'll go with 4. But that's
Biggie's a
only
star.
for
He's
New
a
Day.
star. He's a star. So
But on his own, does he warrant being next to the Bret Harts and Shawns?
no, not yet. No.
But then that's where we're talking the 4s and 5s. Isn't it?
That is very true. That is
point.
true. We're talking
3
Big
then.
E.
Let's go with 3.
I think 3
Three's
is
not a
fair.
bad. Three's not a bad score.
Yeah, and he's got very
Room
much
for
more
improvement.
career to
So
go.
much to
Sort
do.
of thing.
So much to do.
Yeah, cool. So we'll go for 3 for Big E's legacy.
Yep.
Break it down.
Right, so we have totted up everything that we've scored him on his aesthetic, his promo, his ability, and his legacy. And Big E comes to 3.5 out of 5 stars, which sounds a bit on the meaty or lower side, but I think it's very much because he does have a lot more career to go. Like, we haven't seen a lot of him outside the New Day, and he said he's still got a lot to do. So 3.5 right now. What do you guys think? Is that fair?
It's a fair, yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, it's
fair market. Yeah.
When you think of how many wrestlers there are that have wrestled in the past and how many of those are top tier, it's not like a travesty or anything. Like, he's not a 2 or a 1.
Yeah.
You know, I think 3 is pretty fair, and you know, hopefully he can only get better.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's still a lot of people that would want to see this more serious side of Big E. Especially now he's WWE Champion. They will want him to stop kind of clowning around so much. Generally, where do you guys sit on the fence with that argument of his character? Especially now holding, you know, the one of the top titles in the game.
I think if somebody's making jokes, it doesn't mean that they still can't kick your ass. And I think we have this stereotype or this preconception that if you make jokes, that you can't fight.
Yeah.
And that's just nonsense. So I think we need to stop making everybody be the same, and we need to appreciate everybody being different and everybody having their own character and having their own different storylines. We always ask for change. We always shout at the top of the hills, we need change, we need something new. And then when something new happens, we complain still.
Yeah.
So I think New Day as a whole in their legacy are a breath of fresh air. I think they've done things that no one's ever done before, and I think it will just add on to their legacy. If Biggie still be the same person he is, still cracking jokes, but one-on-one, he will kick your ass. And that's how they should book it. Just keep it as that. Keep making his funny jokes and whining and all this stuff he does, and then he knows he can go in the ring. And he's taken people want to see him as champion. People went crazy when he was champion because we still take him seriously, regardless of the jokes. We still take him seriously.
And he can still
as
have
a convincing champion.
There'll still be these, hopefully in future, these blood feuds where he is a bit more intense and, you know, he can transition a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, for those moments, you know, that's
Yeah.
what I think Cody's talking about, being a situational heel and things
Yeah.
like that. You know, maybe not a situational heel, but he can get.
I mean,
outside out.
even on Monday night, you know, when the triple threat against Roman and Bobby Lashley, he just cut his whole entrance of coming out and messing around a bit, and he was serious. He just walked straight down to the ring. So I guess that's the kind of stuff you're talking about. If the situation permits, he just switches that.
It doesn't have to be a total overhaul of character.
Yeah,
just to have like this feud, it's got real now. You know, but yeah, he's so entertaining, like so entertaining naturally. And you just don't want to stifle that. Like, and I hope WWE don't. I, for one, I would, as much as I love the legacy of the New Day lasting till the end, you know, WWE want them to break up and it might never happen. Part of me does want to see that break apart just to see who comes out and what happens. But then again, I don't trust WWE to do it justice. So we might as well just leave it as it is and just keep it.
I really do like it as it is now. Like, they're still like a gang together, but they can go off and do their separate bits and bobs.
Because
what do you think?
Because as well, like, what helped Big E. So when you go back to like his New Day matches, when he gets that hot tag or in a situation where like someone like Xavier was in trouble, when you see Big E pull down the singlet down,
You know what time it is. Yeah.
There's nothing like that in wrestling, isn't it? Like, if anyone's got a singlet, they pull that down. It's just,
you just know, you know that automatically when they do that.
That's why if I'm a wrestler, I'm going to wear a singlet, bro. That's just a cheap pop, innit? Like, you just guaranteed that pop.
Braun Breaker's doing that now, isn't it?
Yeah, Braun Breaker done it.
Oh yeah,
Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner, I know him.
He's doing it now.
Cool. But no, yeah, you know, we're all Big E fans. We all agree there's still a lot more that he can give away from the New Day. So looking forward to seeing that for the rest of his career. Thank you to Cam, Gigi, Skillet that come through today and helped with this particular Break It Down. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys want to see. These guys are silly.
Well, you know something, Max.
Let us know down below in the comments what other big Break It Downs you want to see happen on this channel. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.